the years how much of the revenues it's bringing in. Some years are just worse in fishing than other years, so it depends. Yeah. But fishing is the core, the absolute core. Now, yeah.
More than tourism?
Well, like I said, it's the core. You know, there was no tourism in 1800, but there was fishing. Fishing is the core, the absolute core. You know, during COVID there was no tourism, but we were still exporting fish. So it's the absolute core. But like I said, it depends on the year how much money it's bringing in compared to tourism or aluminium or other industries. But it's still the core, if you know what I mean.
Con đường này nè, con đường màu này nè.
Ồ,
Nhớ không? Ở trong cái con đường màu này nè, anh chụp hình
We're
đó,
extremely
em thấy
protected
ở
of
trong một
our
cái magazine á.
area, our borders, with exclusive economic
chụp thẳng
area,
xuống tới cái nhà thờ
which
đó.
is like if my chef here would be our fishing area, Iceland would be a tiny dot, and then all around is our exclusive economic area. We don't allow any country to come into our borders and fish, but we used to have a major issue around 1960 with a country coming into our borders and fish. I'm not gonna name the country, but it's called England. Yeah. But so that was just a political debate over fishing between Iceland and England called the Cod Wars. But we're extremely protective of our exclusive economic area. We have big great boats in the harbor, Coast Guard. We don't have a navy, but we have Coast Guard. And there are 2 boats in the harbor now, and in total we have 3 boats. So if you go to the harbor, you'll see 2/3 of our fleet. 2 of our 3 boats. Now, the reason for the rainbow, it's because of Pride Festival a couple of years ago. The city chose this street to be the official Pride street during the festival, but it just became a hit. Everybody just loved it. So the city said, you know what, we're gonna keep it. They've been repainting it ever since. And honestly, it has become a bit of a landmark. Rainbow Road, it leads up to the church. It's quite obvious to see why it became so popular. Now the church itself.
Homeless High School in Reykjavik.
And also, now, Hafnarfjörður is like a small town in the capital area, but when we refer to the capital area, it's not only Reykjavik. It's Reykjavik and 5 towns. They've all grown into each other. I think it's happened all over the day. You have like a metropolitan area, and 2/3 of the population of Iceland does not live in Reykjavik. They live in the metropolitan area. Now, semester it dropped down to like 50, but there's no entrance exams, just graduate from high school and then you can apply. And there's no tuition fee for the University of Iceland, and that includes all levels as well. So the ideology is they create the opportunity, but then it's completely on you what you do with that opportunity. You have to work hard and so on, but there's no tuition fee. Now, I told you before, English is mandatory, but also Danish. We used to be a part of Denmark for such a long time, so when we became independent, they never took it out of the curriculum. So still today, we have to learn Danish, and I have to admit, when we were learning it in schools, we absolutely hate it. However, let me finish. Later on, we're so happy. It gives us a great advantage. We would like to go to Scandinavia. It's so easy for us to adapt because we speak the language. So I think when you're young, you're like, oh, why am I learning math? And then later on, you're like, oh, thank God I know how to calculate and so on. And it's the same with Danish. We're extremely delighted we learned Danish later on. But when we were learning Danish, we absolutely hated it, to be honest. Now, how's your Icelandic though? Have you picked up anything? You know how to say takk? Do you know how to say anything, guys?
Thank you.
Góðan daginn. Very good. Góðan daginn means good day.
Do you know the Foss means waterfall?
Foss means waterfall, F-O-S-S. That's the name for a waterfall. And you might see it. When you see a waterfall, check out the name. It always ends with Foss.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. We named the waterfall a waterfall. Just in case you didn't know, this waterfall was a waterfall, we named it a waterfall. It's the same with a glacier. They all end with jökull. Jökull is the word for a glacier. So just in case you didn't know, this big chunk of ice is a glacier. We named it a glacier for you guys. It's the same with fjall, it means a mountain. Bær, it means a town. So what it is always in the name. It's quite interesting. Now, Icelandic language is a Nordic language, Norwegian in roots. So just like in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, these languages originally from Norskir. It's its own category, so it falls in between. It's extremely high in protein, zero fat. So it's really healthy. It's a staple in our diet. Breakfast, in between meals, late night snack, for dessert, just name it. Skyr and ice cream. Highly recommend. Now, if you want meat, I would go for lamb. We have a couple of sheep on the island, like 3 times the population of humans, and we use the wool to make these beautiful jumpers. And by the way, we have to learn how to knit in schools.
Yeah.
I know how to knit.
Wow.
Yeah, I absolutely suck, but I know how to do it.
Yeah.
My mom, I'm not kidding, 3 episodes of Desperate Housewives, she knits this thing. It would take me like a year. I don't know how she does it, but these are all hand knitted and they look
Yeah,
beautiful,
nó mắc
right?
là vậy.
Look at them.
It's not just the women, it's the men that have to learn it too.
Yeah, correct. We have to learn how to knit and sew and cook and clean. And this is like when we're 7. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Also, we have to learn how to swim, mandatory. Being on an island, I think it does help. Yeah. But yeah, it's mandatory to learn how to swim. Now, I would say lamb, Icelandic lamb. You can find lamb steaks, lamb hot dogs. The national dish would be a lamb soup, which is a very rich broth with vegetables and lamb meat. And the last thing I would like to mention, you're almost done with me, sorry. I would like to mention there's one thing here which is very unique, and that's bathing outside. Because you remember I told you we have unlimited hot water? We used to heat up the buildings, melt the ice and snow on the streets, but we also use it to relax. We like to bathe in hot water. We have the private facilities. You probably know about them, Blue Lagoon, Sky Lagoon.
Bar.
They're quite nice, sure, highly recommend. But don't miss out on the public pools. Non-profit. The locals go to them maybe 7 times a week. For a lot of people, like my dad, it's every morning he goes to the pool and then goes to work. It's a big part of our daily routine. Reykjavik has 9 outdoor pools. Iceland has about 200 of those. Every town basically has an outdoor public pool. And the best thing about them is the price. It's about 1,000 Icelandic krona. So it's a bargain. Geothermally heated up, 38 to 44 Celsius, which is 95 to 110 Fahrenheit. They have saunas, water slides, cold pots, amazing facilities. There's one behind the picture. Check them out. Highly, highly recommend. To give you an idea how big part of the culture these pools are. Now, I've never lived abroad, but I've seen Hollywood movies, and according to them, when you go on a date, it's like a cinema or walk in the park, a cafe, restaurant. Is it correct? In Iceland, a date, you go to an outdoor public pool in your bathing suit. Like the first date. Like this is what you get. Like, you like it? Okay. Now, honestly, it's like that. It's just a huge part of the culture here. Check them out. Amazing facilities. Now,
What's the street that has the numbers on it?
oh, the main shopping street?
Yeah.
So at the bottom of the Rainbow Road is Laugavegur. That's the street.
Oh.
Yeah, the bottom of the Rainbow Road. It's the street you see over there. Do you see the blue wall? That's the street. It's just bumped it up. Now, you can do me a huge favor, guys. If you meet a traveler, you see them asking you what to do in Reykjavik, tell them about the walking tours. If you're into online reviews, they definitely help us, Google, TripAdvisor, and so on. Me and the other guys, we're always competing. Who gets the most reviews? I'll be winning.
Yeah.
So there's only one area.
There's only one area. Yeah. Okay, we don't have C in our alphabet. Yeah. But if you write it with a C, I know it's confusing. No problem. But yeah, no C in our
No có
alphabet.
C, nó
And
có
no
K.
W, and no Q.
It's a happy house where the Reagan and Gorbachev meet. Today is January 23rd, 2022. We just finished stopping over Reykjavik in Iceland. So very nice. We had 2 days stay here. Very nice. So now we're on the way back to the ship. For the ship now is about 4:55 p.m. So at 6:30 the ship will sail to one more port in Iceland, and from there we go to Greenland. That's the one I'm waiting for. Today is the July 24. The ship approaching Grand something in Iceland. The last stop in Iceland. Today is this is Artiton. You what? Artiton. Artiton. You what? Để anh quay cho em. Why? Did you em lớn lại như vậy? That's a waterfall we went to, but not too nice, so we returned. You see the people here from Malaysia. Hello. Okay. Sorry. Đi lên lấy gì? Đi đi.
Dạ, không có một.
Cái chân phôm mới bước hai chà hãng ra, đừng bước một cái một chà hãng ra. Cái khăn làm từ giờ chưa xong mà. Nữa. Trời ơi, làm cái khăn từ giờ chúng chưa xong cái khăn.
mỏ nó đỏ đẹp.
Nó đẹp quá.
Cái mỏ nó đỏ, cái đầu nó đen.
Để quay vậy đó. Ship moving out the port of Iceland. It's a beautiful country. I love Iceland. Now it's 5 p.m. on July 24, 2022. The ship moved out of the port. Run in Iceland, the last port of Iceland. I love the country of Iceland. Today is Monday, July 25th at 7:11 a.m. The ship go from Iceland to Greenland. We arrive Greenland on tomorrow, 26th, but we go through the strait, Britain Strait, so we stay on this boat. Buffet. Morning. Today is July 25th, 2022. Now it's 7:55 a.m. in the morning. Ship going from Iceland to Greenland, the territory of Denmark. First time I've been in Greenland, so to be excited. I tried to be in Greenland for a long time, but I haven't been. So this was the first time, so I was very excited for me. I tried to go to Greenland several ways, either the cruise ship or go to Iceland and fly over Greenland, but the flight schedule from Reykjavik to Greenland look and UK. Not easy, not regularly. Thai to Thai, so and the flight expensive. So this one, the good opportunity for me to go to Greenland. And so I excited about this. So tomorrow we will arrive Christian channel. We are cruising around region, the name of King of Norway. No, King of Denmark. So after that, the day after tomorrow, we go to the first port of Greenland. I can pronounce that to QO something. And the next time, next day, the following day, we go to second port of Greenland. So that's the last port of Greenland, and after that, we go to Canada. So it's to be excited.
Ở Mỹ ở ở tiểu bang Montana người ta cũng thấy Northern Light. Singapore nó phải pay 350 million to customer affected by class action lawsuit. Personal information was stolen. Greenland ice sheet melting too fast, raising sea level, experts say. It's getting hotter in Greenland, and last weekend, temperature rose enough to pour 18 billion tons of cái gì? Không hỏi ra được nữa. Tới lunchtime rồi ba.
Kortok, Greenland. So these port talks are not meant to be in-depth historical or cultural talks on the ports. Instead, what they're designed to do is to give you a overview and some basic information about some of the highlights and major attractions, and perhaps help you decide whether or not you want to go on a shore excursion or you want to do things on your own. If you are looking for specific information about shuttles or hop-on, hop-off, I can tell you right now, they probably won't have them here in Greenland because these are very small villages. So you will be able to walk them. There may be some hilly areas, so I do warn you about that. But for the most part, everything is pretty much walkable here in Greenland. So without further ado, let's go. So Greenland, it is, the currency is the Danish krone. It is considered part of Denmark. The main language is Greenlandic, however, you probably find a lot of people speaking Danish as well as English. Now this is a map of where the village is. Greenland is the largest island in the world, though it is not categorized as a continent. Some of you may get confused with Australia. That is a continent. It is located in the northwest of Iceland and to the northeast of Canada. At the center of the island is an immense ice cap that covers most of its land area. And by current estimates, the population of Greenland is very small, as you can probably imagine. Anywhere from about 57,000 to 58,000 people. So a geographical feature of Greenland is that it is actually a part of the ancient continent of Pangaea, which existed billions of years ago. And back then, Greenland was attached to the United Kingdom, and that evidence can be seen in the rocks and the rocks that they have in common. Now, Qaqortoq is often described as one of the most beautiful towns in Greenland. It has a picturesque setting between the fjord of Qaqortoq and the lake of, there's another lake out there. Anyway, the town is separated by two parts of the creek, and for the most part, you've got colorful houses that had million-dollar views. I mean, fantastic views over the fjord and the lake. There is a museum, and it's housed in a tar-blackened 1804 building that was once part of the colony that was originally here beforehand. Today, its most unique feature is at the top floor. It's a beautifully restored with a church-like decor and a lot of 1930s artifacts. Next is the Church of Our Savior. It was built from 1832 and commissioned and built by the city of Drammen in Norway with Danish missionaries. It was also consecrated in that same year of 1832. Since then, the church has been refurbished and rebuilt several times, and it is the only serving church that serves the town congregation. So, due to an increasing population in the town, the old church could no longer adequately serve the entire community, so a new church was commissioned by the Church of Denmark. The church was consecrated in July 8, 1973, and was named after Gertrude Rask, the wife of missionary Hans Egede. So the predominant native Greenlanders is the Inuit culture. This spanned thousands of years of history in South Greenland, when hunters were the backbone of the old culture. So they still are here, so you have hunters and suppliers of fresh meat and fish, and also provides skin and hides for national costumes and warm winter fur coats. You can observe the daily life of the hunters right at the center of town, where there's a local fish market where the daily catch is being sold. So carved into boulders and lichen-covered rock faces are the carvings of whales' faces and other traditional designs. So these stoneworks are a citywide work of art known as Stone and Man. So this was a project of a local artist, and basically she wanted to turn her hometown into a permanent open-air art gallery, and essentially turned all of this into works of art. We've got a lot of different artists that are hailing from the Nordic countries like Norway, Iceland, Finland, and Sweden, and of course, Greenland itself. The town is home to the oldest fountain in Greenland. It was finished in 1932. It was the only fountain in the country prior to another in Sismuit. The fountain depicts whales spouting water out of their blowholes, like the one we have pictured here. So, let us go. So, like I said, the currency is the Danish krone. Most things, there are ATMs available. Usually local vendors on the streets will only accept cash. And for this port, we arrive at 8 a.m. and the all-aboard time, subject to change, right now is at 5 p.m. This is a tender port, so we will be using the ship's tenders to get you to the town. And for more information on that, please do pay attention to the overhead announcements or the public announcements when they are made that morning. It'll explain a little bit more to you about the tendering process. So I want to thank you so much for coming, and also I hope you have a great time in Greenland. Hello everyone, my name is Betty Ann. I'm your Cruise and Travel Director, and this is a port talk on Nanortalik, Greenland. Now these port talks are not meant to be in-depth, comprehensive, historical, cultural, guest lecture type talks on the ports of call. Rather, they are just meant to highlight some of the major attractions that are in our ports of call, and basically to help give you an idea of whether or not you want to go on a shore excursion or if you want to do things on your own. If you are looking for any specific transportation information such as shuttles or hop-on hop-off, which here in Greenland there will not be any hop-on hop-off buses, I'm going to refer you to the shore excursions desk up on deck 12 all the way forward in the crow's nest. But you probably won't have to worry about that here in Greenland. So Greenland, it is under Denmark. They use the currency, the Danish krone. So if you got some Danish krone, this would be the place to use it. The main languages are Greenlandic, Danish, and English. I believe you will have no problem finding people who speak English. And Greenland, let us go to Nanortalik. So it is a very, very small village. This is a map of where it is. So Greenland is the largest island in the world, although it is not categorized as a continent. So it's located to the northwest of Iceland and to the northeast of Canada. At the center of the island is a huge, huge ice cap that covers most of its land area. And by current population estimates, Greenland has a population of only 57,000 people. So Nanortalik is located on a small island that's also named Nanortalik on the shores of the Labrador Sea, so roughly 100 kilometers. There's about 1,185 inhabitants. That was 2020 estimates. So it is the 10th largest town in the country. Now the name of Nanortalik means place of the polar bear, or place where the polar bears go. And despite the allusion to polar bears in its name, they are rarely sighted in town. And because of its location, the area was also one of the first places of Greenland settled by the Norsemen, and one of the last settled by the Inuit. The town was founded in 1770, and in 1797, a permanent trading depot was set up in Nanortalik by traders from the nearby area. However, due to poor harbor facilities, the town was moved 3 kilometers northward in 1830, where it remains today. Now, one of the things you can see is this wooden Danish Lutheran church. It was built and consecrated in 1916, and currently it is the only church serving the Nanortalik congregation. It's located in the old colonial quarter of town, and the church was deemed culturally significant since 2004. Next is an open-air museum that features several different buildings and features summer tents, kayaks, and the oldest woman's boat ever found. So the boat dates back to 1440 and was found in 1948 by a polar explorer. All right, as you can see, the town is very small. There are about 1,100 inhabitants, so you can probably cover this town walking, again, probably like in a half an hour or so. The currency is the Danish krone, and we will be tendering into Nanortalik, so that is what the current arrival and all aboard time is. The all aboard time is fairly quickly. It is subject to change, but like I said, you can do the town in less than a half an hour. The tenders, this is what it's going to look like. Please pay attention to the announcements in the morning and also the location of where the tenders will be docking. So just one little feature of Greenlandic character. So the locals are very friendly, and whether you meet them casually around town or in your everyday, or not casually.
Greenland. The cruise ship approaching Greenland. At 6:15 a.m., the ship approaching Greenland, far away the mountains. I see mountains far away. Ship approaching Greenland. Now is 6:15 a.m. in the morning, July 26, 2022. Ship approaching Greenland. We see the first razor on top of the mountain. This is the first iceberg I see on the ocean. First iceberg.
Tự nhiên cái chân mình sẽ tự nhiên ra thấy nó sụp xuống mình bởi vậy là lúa nó nắng. Bị sao lâu lâu nó cụp xuống cả.
Okay. Today, July 26th, now is 8:20 a.m. in the morning. The ship brings Richard Sound in Greenland. And the iceberg just started getting. Chứ lại hay anh kéo bạn mình.
Cái này thấy hai
Newman ceased to be a colony of Denmark and instead became a
xưa là nó để nó thay đổi.
Nó dùng tiền của Danish.
Hồi đó khu này là của Norway, rồi sau Norway yếu á, nó dừng lại cho lên Denmark. Nhưng mà thế nào không bảo đảm, thế nào nước này cũng nhiều lên này.
That was not bad compared to other people. Some people went to 4 different countries to get there.
Nó không dám chạy nhanh, nên trong này là nguy hiểm. Nó theo ai bữa nó đụng cái là nguy hiểm lắm, tại bữa nó đứng sẽ là ai thường kề là
The baby and next like that's my husband. He's good with me. Mine's
không có tiền này chứ.
Take a long để mẹ chạy.
Got the sunlight coming up.
Oh, glacier. That's a glacier here.
Again, on the starboard side, on the right side of the ship.
Excuse me? Sorry.
But it has a parliamentary democracy. So examples of a parliamentary democracy can be found in Canada, the UK, and the United Canada, where you have Helen Engel. The head of government is the Premier, Prime Minister. Boot C. Egged has been the head of government since April 23rd, 2021. Now the legislative branch is unicameral, which means it's one body, not bicameral, which we have in the U.S. There are 31 seats. Members are directly elected into a multi-seat constituency, and it is a proportional representation. They serve a term of about 4-year terms. Greenland also elects 2 members to the Danish Parliament to serve 4-year terms as well, so they are represented in Denmark. Now, most of the economy is based on fishing, at 22%, and Japan at 6%.
It's okay, thank you.
Those exports mainly consist of commodities such as fish, crustaceans, and fishing ships. That's on the export side. The import side, we have mostly and Iceland. Now the imports would be fishing ships, refined petroleum, construction vehicles, and
De mutatie mag verhogen.
Me sento aqui momento.
Big glacier in Spring region south in Greenland.
It's broken. It's
Yes,
spring.
I'll be careful.
Don't cut yourself.
Oh, okay. I'll get you in the glacier. Is that good?
Face there looks
Sorry.
more vertical in our room.
We're looking down on them instead of straight out.
Instead of going in Tampa, now they're going in
That's like when the sun's getting, getting ready to go to the final and so on. I mean, everybody is going back.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
Yeah, so
Diane, I haven't gotten it. So the coach that we have now for the bar.
From the doctor, we should get a good shot of that.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ja, ik dacht dat ik mijn eigen vertrek geregeld had.
Ze vroeg nog dit, mijn was precies andersom. Ik weet het nog steeds. Ik had ook dit
Yeah, wonderful.
Komt toch niet? Hoe dan? Er is toch niks?
Volg me nou maar.
Kijken.
Ja.
Không thấy. The place there. The captain tried to get into the narrow channel. The narrow channel here again there, but too narrow again there.
But that was a long.
Oh, that one, that's just invented the airplane, right?
The ship get out of the alley, go straight to keep continue. And two big iceberg there. This morning the ship go from this direction, go all the way to here. All the way to here, and now the ship. No. The ship turned around.
The houses stand on a very small nest below an almost vertical 905 meters, which is about 2,970 foot high mountain.
But there have been a couple of questions. One question is how many ships actually pass through Prince Christian Sound? We are estimating probably about 40 ships that have through. And there has been a question, is there a size limit to a ship passing through the sound? No, there is no size limit. What is the temperature of the water currently?